Good morning, everyone, and it's a weekend and it's another day for our bar guide. And today's bar guide will focus on what should be your study environment. And I'm referring to the place where you are studying, regardless of the fact that, or regardless of its location. It could be in your boarding house, it could be in your home, or in workplace, or even a specific place like a coffee shop, especially the millennials. Now, I never had a chance to be in a coffee shop or like at that time I cannot afford. I just go to the library. So, let me begin with telling you what are the factors that would affect your study. Number one pet peeve for students like me is the noise. But there are those who can study with their headset on their ears and while listening to music. It could even be very active or like it could be rap or even reggae, or it could be even jazz or something that is just like the sound itself and no lyrics, like no songs at all. Now, and noise could even be like coming from those chit chats surrounding you. That's why I prefer studying alone at home than being in the library. Although there are many times, or there were many times during my student life and during my bar review, that I will just go to a place where I can see some people moving around so that I will not be deprived of such social element of being a human being. Now, another factor that could affect your study would be the internet. And actually, I rewarded myself with the use of internet. It could be simple research, or it could be using my Facebook account at that time. So I noticed I even applied it during my bar review that in an hour I spend like 20 minutes for social media or for just mere use of the internet, just to refresh my mind and just to like if there's a um, break. That was my break. So another thing also is the lighting. And one of the things that I didn't like during my bar review was that my study space in our house had no window and it only had a door. So there was no natural light coming inside the room. I could not see the sun. All I had was my room light and my desk light. Now, I had to go out to see the sun sometimes, or most of the time, I had to be out to see if it's daylight or evening time already. Now, another thing also very important is actually it's more of the ergonomics of the room. It's the room layout. Most likely, tables very close to the beds um, are discouraged because this setup, if you're tired, instead of going out, you see your bed so attractive. So instead of going out to refresh, to breathe some air, then the tendency is you go to bed and sleep. So your books are with you, like you're sleeping with your books and other review materials. So these four items totally affect your study or even your motivation, actually. So during your study, these are the factors that you should focus on. Since you are preparing for the bar, you have to know the syllabus, wherein you will know the full coverage, and you're gonna take the bar examinations without knowing the syllabus as issued by the Supreme Court, and without finishing the full syllabus or the coverage of the bar exams, because you might be leaving out some important topics of the examination. Now, another thing is that you have to comprehend. I don't use, which is related also to the third goals or aims, would be your recall. I am not into memorization, and I remember the only enumeration that I could not recall right away would be these procedural due process requirements. And it was a real challenge for me because it has many items to recall. So aside from comprehension, you have to make the necessary recall, because they say that law school is even about more of memorizing. But to say that would be to underestimate the capacity of the human brain that understands a thing. So I remember what my professor, labor law professor, said. Attorney Bellarmino, he said that if you understand, you remember, and if you memorize, you forget. And that was my mantra after I heard him saying that in class. So, and it's really reasonable, and I find it acceptable, so acceptable that I even apply that in my personal study habits, and even until now. Now, these three things, the first goals, the first, second, and third goal, coverage, comprehension, and recall, actually is just what secondary even to your goal to be constantly motivated. And the bar review is like several months, so you have to be constantly motivated. There could be down times, and all you have to do was you have to keep yourself motivated. You have to reward yourself, and you have to know that the end goal was what, or is what, to be ready for the bar examinations, and not regret for not doing your best, or because I would really believe that we regret the things that we did not do, and not the things that we did. So with this goals for during your study in mind, and the factors that would affect your study environment or your study habits, you have to keep that in mind, that uh, while having your review period, you have to keep yourself motivated while avoiding or reducing the things, or your exposure to those things that gravely affect your study. And I hope with this 8 items in mind, of the first, the factors that affect your study, and the goals that you should have during your study, you will be motivated and you will survive, especially during the bar review. And I know that the bar review is the most difficult, the most like your anxiety, the most emotional stage of preparation, or like, and even nothing could surpass the the challenges during the bar review. So I hope you will bear this in mind, and you will keep yourself motivated, find yourself some rewards, and breathe out. And you need some breather also. You need to. So in the near or in the next lessons to come, I will specify those things. How are you going to reward yourself? So for today, I hope you learned something. Thank you so much. Have a good day.